Happy Sunday. Welcome to episode 17 of the T40's podcast. I'm your old pal Benson, and I brought along
Ryan,
Michael,
and Alex.
And we're here every Sunday doing our podcast.
Most
Sundays.
Until football starts, then we just stop.
Yeah, we'll have it playing in the background, just be distracted the whole time. There'll just be random like shit, just random curse words being.
We're both
shot.
Viking fans, so yeah, it's good.
All right.
Yeah, I'll
So,
just be a morose.
As always, if you want to contact us, you can send an email to podcast@tipping40s.com or leave us a voicemail at 218-666-8407. So today we're going to be doing, the beer of the week, of course, and then we're going to move on to our new segment, which is debate. We're going to have the Tipping 40s mini debates, and we'll explain those before we start that.
I took it in high school. I was very shy though and failed mostly.
How many people made a master debater joke to you in high school?
Every
It was like
single
hundreds.
It was a very informal debate thing. It was like, well, we don't have a class, but these kids are smarter than most of the kids, so let's put them in debate.
Yeah.
And it was horrible.
I had a friend with the last name Bates, so you know.
You heard it here. Michael was one of the smartest kids.
No,
Okay,
I
all right.
wasn't.
I'm just kidding. And then
Wasn't
Ryan
crazy
will
about
be
it.
Teaching us about John Carpenter.
He's
And
a pretty cool guy.
Alex will then do the top 3 movies, and we'll close it out with the Tipping 40's top 5 most wanted.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, so let's just move right into the beer of the week. I'm doing the Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA. It's one of my favorite beers and definitely my favorite IPA. It's actually the second Dogfish Head IPA we've done.
Yeah, they make a lot of IPAs.
They do,
They
but
make like 5 or 6 of them.
but I love IPAs, so it is one of my favorite beers. It's a strong India Pale Ale. It's got 9% alcohol, and they also do have 60 and 120-minute variations of it, and they're both good. But the 90, I think, is the
happy
sweet spot.
medium.
Yeah, and
the
it's
60 is kind of weak, and then the 120 is overpowering.
You guys have
Yeah.
the 120 before?
Yeah.
yes,
Never had
I
it.
have.
I've never had the 120.
It's honestly not as good as the 90, and
It's too much
way
hops.
too expensive
Yeah.
too. It's like $3 or $4 for a 12 ounce.
So this is like Goldilocks then with the porridge.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
with hops.
Sure.
With hops, yeah. Just a bowl of hops.
Goldie hops.
Goldie hops.
One of the things I like actually about the 90-minute is like with a lot of IPAs, the hops come out as overpowering. They're actually kind of hidden really nice in it.
Yeah.
Beer is a bit sweeter than other IPAs,
It is,
but it isn't like, Hoegaarden or something.
it's
where
got a little bit of
overpowering
almost a little bit of like a flowery taste to it.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird for an IPA, but it's fantastic. It tastes great.
sweetening. You can drink
So-
several of them. and
So,
feel happy.
Drink some. Get a 4-pack.
Spend $10.
Get a 6-pack.
You can't get a 6-pack of that. They sell it in 4-packs.
It's too baller for 6.
Yeah,
Whatever.
That should be their tagline.
yeah. Well, that
It's
would be
too
good.
baller for
Don't
6.
buy that peach one.
What?
Yeah, the peach beer. That one's not too great.
No.
All right, so let's move it on because this segment's going to be a pretty long one.
It is.
It's going to be the Tipping 40s mini debates. Today is the first time we're trying it out, so
It might not be funny.
it might not be. It might be. We
Total
don't know
train
yet.
wreck.
But if you want to send us some ideas, go ahead and do it. We mentioned it last week, and we did actually get one idea.
We got 2 ideas,
or we
but
got
one
2.
of them didn't work.
One of
so-
them's insane.
Yeah, that one wasn't.
But we got another one that I actually think is pretty good. So anyway, what I'm going to talk about, or what I'm going to tell you about before we start here, basically 2 contestants, which, like I said, it's going to be Michael and Alex today. They're going to be given subjects on which they must argue. Usually these subjects will be very one-sided, as in one of them is obviously better than the other. So it gives
Yeah, like abortion.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. We're for abortion. I'm not pro-choice. I think that there should just be abortions, like
They're just randomly.
mandatory.
Like a lottery.
mandatory abortion.
Strong letter.
Anyway, basically, this makes it so that one of the people, and we'll switch off which one has the horrible one each time, but one of you has a bigger burden on you to to try to make something sound better when it's clearly not.
You got to spin it, basically.
Yeah, you got to. It's the spin. That's what it's all about. Exactly. So each one will only last a few minutes, and there's just an opening argument followed by a rebuttal, and finally a closing argument, which will alternate. Have we discussed which the opening argument is for the bad or the good?
No, you get to pick what you want in the opening argument. And just he gets
Yeah,
to do
moderator
opening,
picks.
then I do opening, then
I
he does
see.
opening.
See, just like
Okay.
how the media manipulates the time that's given to one agenda, that's how you can do that. You know, if you want to give a ton of time to the anti-agenda, then
And
you
not
know,
like-
you can.
I'll just give it to whichever one I
Yeah.
think is funnier, basically.
And not let Ron Paul
give
speak.
him more time.
not let Ron Paul speak. Not let the chief analyst of someone speak and say, "Oh, our mortgage is bad."
Let's
you know?
not go down that
Okay.
road.
So I think since they're doing it, I guess I'm judging them, apparently. That's
You're
what-
judging and I'm moderating.
Okay.
Is the,
So I get to
okay.
see who's the winner at
Okay.
bad arguments.
Judge
So-
Reinhold over here.
We're gonna
Mock
start.
trial.
We're gonna start with Alex's first idea we had when we were discussing the topic, which is whether eating babies
Well, that was
or
That was actually
it
me,
was
but
you.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Eating babies or not eating babies.
Okay.
So you're gonna be eating babies, Alex, and Mike is going to be against eating.
no.
babies.
You can't decide what we have to argue. You just say it, and then I get to pick which one.
What?
No,
Yes,
no, no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no.
yes. That was
Really?
the idea.
Okay.
So whoever has the opening argument gets to
I
pick
have
what
no
they want to
strong
argue. And the
feelings
other
one
person
way or
has
the
to
other.
argue that.
It's not really going to make much of a difference.
Well, no, because you have to alternate having
That's
the
fine.
bad one.
Then he goes to the next one. No, you can't just tell us which one to pick.
Yeah, I
No,
alternate.
no.
Hold on, we're figuring out the rules.
I don't even care. Whatever. Just do whatever one you want then.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, so it's gonna be funny no matter what. So I'm obviously against eating babies because babies have no muscle at all. It's just all baby fat completely. When they're born. It's completely terrible for you. If you were to just eat that, I don't know. It's like just eating. I know veal's got a lot of fat, but it's delicious. So.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's exactly my argument. You know, veal is delicious. I say we put these babies in boxes, we force feed them, you know, Gerber, but mix it up. You know, you don't want it too sweet, so you give them some greens, give them some, and you know, you don't want to see. It's not a newborn, you know, because newborns they won't have the right diet. You know, so you need to get more types of foods in them so they have more complex flavors.
So what age group are we talking about here?
Probably like 8 to 12 months.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
and you know, you have to take them out once in a while, let them take a little walk.
So these
You
are going to be
know,
free range.
Okay.
free range babies.
Okay, moving on to the closing argument.
I don't know. I'm still against it because maybe some like some redhead babies that would be better. I don't know why they just.
Are you baby racist?
They just seem like they have the lighter skinned animals just always taste better. I don't know. I don't like the darker skinned.
I like dark meat.
The white meat's the best one, but it's just still just be all fat. Even at age what age did you say 3 to 4?
No, about 8 months.
8 months?
Got a little
That's-
bit of muscle in there, some nice marbling.
Well, I think that we can.
Get someone to massage their legs a little bit.
I think we've heard enough. But I can think that we all agree that we should definitely go with farm fresh babies, no prepackaged.
Yeah, and also, you know, no GMOs in my babies. That's just wrong.
Okay, so
I'm gonna come out actually with the against babies just because it's out of my price range for food. I mean, I just can't afford the babies at this point.
It would be a
It's a
luxury
delicacy.
well, you're
market.
judging based on the debate, though, not based on your opinion.
Yeah. No, but that's exactly what the media does. It's doing exactly what he should be doing.
That is kind of true.
Actually, who's our advertiser? Because I think there's the Council for Baby Eating, so maybe you have to pick that
Jonathan
one.
Swift.
So
Jonathan Swift is
someone sent us a voicemail with our next topic, and
great.
it's very succinct.
Okay.
As in the voicemail is
So you're gonna
a
argue
few
first.
seconds long. All right,
Money versus Bitcoin.
there you go.
Okay, so
money versus
Money
Bitcoin.
versus bitcoins.
Okay. So I'm going to go in favor of Bitcoins. So the reason why I think Bitcoins are important is our money, our currency isn't worth anything. And the reason why is it's backed by bad governments. So what you need to do is you need to take the government out of it, and then that works.
Okay, rebuttal.
My argument is that I can buy things with money.
Winner, Alex.
Do you want to make a closing argument?
Okay, I will make a closing argument. We have We have $1.4 quadrillion in derivatives. That is not real money. It's not backed. And there's a lot of people that make a lot of money off of that. See, you can turn Bitcoins into real money. So for me, that works, because I can make money out of, thin air.
Here you have it. The only thing more fake than American currency is Bitcoin somehow.
I'm going to say pro money because fuck the libertarians that run Bitcoins.
See, again,
Alex did make own opinion.
Alex did make a compelling argument.
Oh yeah, well he would.
Well, yeah.
Definitely. I would definitely go with Alex on that one. There's really no other argument for it. Okay, so I thought of one for you guys. The next one's going to be cell phones versus tin cans attached by a string.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with tin cans attached to a string.
Good
by
choice.
far. Actually, not string, yarn. Yarn works the best.
Okay.
I'm just throwing out the string. It's completely useless. You got to get those Campbell's cans first of all, too, because they're
The best sound
Yeah.
reception.
And I'm arguing this because, obviously, I don't have to get a plan. I don't need no shitty Verizon. I'm not going to lose my signal. As long as my yarn is high grade, it's going all the way there, right to my next door neighbor over the fucking balcony and shit. So no plans, no paying money, stealing cans from my mom, dumping out the soup. I'm going to eat it. I'm just going to do that straight up.
Rebuttal.
My rebuttal. Cell phones are great for communication, but the best thing they're good for, and this is anecdotal, those are always the best ways for pundits to argue their points, is, when I'm walking down a long hallway and someone's walking towards me, I don't want to have to associate with them too much. So what I do is I look at my cell phone to look like I'm busy doing something. Yeah, I actually do that. And see, if I had a tin can, I can't do that. So then I have to have small talk with some person I don't care about. So cell phones are multitaskers, and they can look at Facebook. Not that I
That's
care.
actually,
A
I
lot of
think, a
people.
downside. But
Yeah.
Closing argument.
My rebuttal is that no one can call me unless I want to talk to them. They can't text me unless I want to talk to them. I have to be ready. If I'm not ready, then fuck it. I don't want to talk to you. I can't just get random shit calls. Can't get telemarketers.
A telemarketer.
I can in my room.
He's tying to the line. He's tying a knot, like
in
a
the middle. Yeah, halfway
Hey
through.
Joe, do you hear that? What is that?
He's in a tree house between the two houses, just tapping into lines. All right, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I think my fear of talking to people overrides my hatred of Verizon, so I'm going with cell phones.
Yeah.
That was a good argument, I will say.
Yeah, that was.
I love how almost every argument of ours, except for your money one, which was the best point, has been a secondary or tertiary point on the item. It's not even,
Yeah. Well, the baby one was the worst, which was totally based on taste, and he completely ignored any ethical stance whatsoever. Which is pretty much par for the course with tipping 40s, I think. So I think that you thought of one, right, Ryan? You have.
Oh, yes, I did have one. It's not so much one-sided as it is completely arbitrary. It's tacos versus burritos.
Oh, damn. That is not arbitrary. That is tough.
There's going to be some anger in this one.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
They're serious business.
I can feel it boiling. We haven't even started talking
We're going
about
to
it
pick what I
yet.
want, bitch.
I got to pick tacos. You know why?
Want? That's what he wanted.
You know why?
Not anymore.
Because tacos can technically vary in size. Burritos are just huge. They're never, there's not small. Oh, here's my tiny burrito. No, they're just giant. You can have big tacos, small tacos, and here's the other thing, hard or soft. If you fry up a burrito, then it's chimichanga, not a burrito anymore, yo. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, hard, soft, you got lots of variety. They're really easy to make. They're kind of idiot-proof. I don't know, tacos just are awesome. I want some fucking...
Burritos are far superior because you can eat them in the car without spilling them everywhere. You just hold it in your hand. You're just,
I disagree.
it's still there. Still there. You could like turn it upside. Oh,
I
I
saw-
No, it's like a relationship that reveals its ugly head later on. It's like, oh yeah, I could totally eat this in my car, and then you get to the bottom, and then you're like, oh shit, I can't eat this thing in the car, and then it just spills everywhere. And
Well,
then you're
much like Mike's
crying.
relationship.
With a burrito, you can put as much in there as you want because it's still going to close no matter what. So just throw as many things you want. Taco, you only have to eat one burrito. One burrito. You don't make multiple of them. You don't go back and make another one. You just make one burrito.
I don't know. I like the slider mentality. I want to eat like 14 tacos.
It does make you feel like you've eaten more.
Yeah.
It's like 4 little things. Like, oh yes, I'm fat.
Well, is that we had like 5 arguments instead of 3, but
Also, a burrito has rice.
That's it.
we're going to strike that from the record because that was after the debate was over.
I always love that in court cases. Oh, strike that. Just unremember that.
Yeah, I know, right?
How does that work? This person is a horrible piece of shit. Strike that from the record.
Oh, okay, I guess he's good.
I'm going to come down the side of burritos, mainly because one of the funniest things I've ever seen was a woman driving a car on her cell phone eating a burrito with one hand on each.
Yeah, that's right. Driving the car eating a burrito. That's what I said.
You know,
Had nothing to do with the
I'm talking about driving a car eating a burrito.
I would have to go with tacos because burritos are associated too closely with Chipotle for me now. And so
Yeah.
I have
The
to.
Mesquite, Sonora Mesquite Grill has
Yeah,
some good fucking burritos.
they have some good
You're in
tacos
Phoenix
too.
earlier.
This week's sponsor is Sonora Mesquite Grill.
Yeah, go to them. They're in Phoenix.
I have a feeling they could use some sponsorship.
Yeah, there's
because
no one
there's
ever
never
there.
anyone there. Okay, dogs or pet rocks?
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn first. It's the 5th topic.
I'm going to go with dogs because they're free. You go down to the pound. Actually, no, you have to pay money.
Yeah,
Dogs aren't free.
Yeah.
You're
wait,
arguing against yourself.
Okay, no. Just strike that from the record. I'm going to go with dogs.
Such his own.
I'm going to go with dogs.
I object to me.
I'm going to go with dogs because all the dogs I owned were free. All the dogs I owned when I was a kid, we just found off the street. We took them. Like, hey, this is our new dog. So you can find free dogs. It's pretty easy. Finding pet rocks, that's not as easy.
Okay.
Take the collar off. It's free.
Okay.
No, there was no collar.
Pet rocks don't shed. They don't require food, I think. Shots. Also, they don't try to stick their face in your fucking crotch when you're sitting on the couch. You're like, what are you doing? Why are you sitting here? I sit in my underwear a lot. I don't want a dog's head in my crotch. It's very, like,
Speak for
unnerving. Yeah, out the peanut butter. have a go at it. But yeah, you know, dogs are a fucking pain in the ass. They just make a mess. They're kind of dopey.
Disagreed. I don't think they make a mess. I actually think the best reason to own a dog is they clean the place up. You drop food on the floor, you just say, hey, Rex, get the fuck over here. Eat
Rex.
this. And they'll just, Rex. Just
It's not
doing
a
the most
dog name.
Not Juice Man?
Juice Man.
You
Get the
betrayed
fuck,
me, Alex.
get the fuck over here, Juice Man. Eat this thing I don't even want. They'll eat it every time. It's awesome, man.
And they'll shit all
That
over
is the best thing. The kitchen floor is the cleanest fucking thing ever.
My rebuttal to that is Benson's old roommate's dog Gord. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
Total asshole dog. I would own a monkey that's rabid over that. I think and just leave it.
I
around.
think my
like the crotch,
ex-roommate.
too?
I think my ex-roommate actually listens to the podcast, so I'm sure that she'll appreciate
Your
that.
dog's kind of a dick.
Oh, he is. I've told her that many
Yeah,
times. So.
kind of a brat.
What do you say?
Coming down with pet rocks, they don't shit everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't shit or shed.
Shit.
Well, either one,
Either
really.
one, yeah.
I think the shedding's worse.
You know what, though? Try skipping a dog across a lake. Doesn't work.
Then they're dead.
I've done it.
Rocks dog.
Doesn't work. Okay. Well, that was 5 topics, and actually, that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
And
We had one more topic, but it was completely insane.
yeah, it was.
Well, we could try it.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let me pull up the email here.
No,
you're not even
just
going to
do the other one.
remember. I mean, you could go for it if you want.
The
to try it.
one of them was pro and anti-guns, and that's not funny. So we're gonna
Yeah,
find.
we can make it funny. All right, it's your turn. Go.
Okay. I'm gonna go for pro guns because if a robber is trying to rob me, I can point my gun to their head and they go, "I'm not gonna rob you now," even though I also have a gun.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with anti-guns because a lot of guns are gas powered, and I don't want those gases in the environment. So
Guns are gas powered. fucking paintball guns is CO2.
Also,
It's been why you shoot too much
these hunters keep
steampunk
shooting all these
anime or
deer.
something.
Dude, they're just ruining all the environmental balance, you know.
Dude, deer. Okay,
They're not
you
shooting.
can send me my fucking argument. Deer.
They're not
That's why you
shooting the
need guns.
predators. They're not shooting the predators. Come on.
No, deer are predators to my front fender. That's what that fucking shit. If I'm driving through, they're assholes. I drove 45 and hit one once. I slammed on the brakes right away, and I was going like 10, and it still ran into me.
I will say, moderate has nothing to do with guns. He's talking about deers.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with the guns.
No, because I can shoot
I know
them.
I know what you're saying, but
Drive by while they're... Oh, here it comes.
what say you, Judge?
I'm going to say guns because they give me confidence.
Oh, that's good.
Fucking dude.
You're the worst judge.
He's a terrible
No,
judge.
you know what? He's perfectly portraying how debates
I'm
work.
just going to do what Ryan would think from now on.
Well, you have to win my approval, so...
As long as the Kardashians are still alive, I'm going to be pro-gun, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found the other email. Since we have an odd number, we have to finish it out with it. This is by Max, I
We're
think.
tied right now, too.
Yeah, we are.
You are tied.
You have two options here, and I'm going to read them verbatim, and they're completely ridiculous.
Who's taking first, me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, option one. You have a dog. The dog is a 5-star chef and can plant one tree a day that grows instantly. The dog is also telepathic. However, you must be within 30 feet of the dog at all times. Otherwise, you suffer terrible migraines. The dog is racist against anyone not Caucasian and telepathic in thought, but you receive the thoughts in the voice of Gilbert Gottfried. That's your first option. The second option is a cat. The cat can always do your taxes perfectly and get you the maximum refund. The cat will teach you to be the best at an extreme sport of your choice. The cat can also teleport you anywhere you want. However, you have to hold the cat, and the cat will scratch you while doing this. The cat is a pack-a-day smoker, and the cat will teach you the secret of immortality if it lives for 20 years. However, if it doesn't, you immediately get 1 year of bad luck. Also, the cat is diabetic and requires constant monitoring for its blood sugar level.
Okay.
Wasn't this was on the Giant Bombcast, I think. This exact question.
Was it?
I think so.
Really?
I'm almost
so someone
positive.
stole it.
Well, maybe it's the same person. I don't know.
That'd be even more incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going for the dog because I hate smokers, so.
Great argument.
So also, he's a 5-star chef, and
That's
my
pretty
goal,
awesome.
my goal in life is to have my own chef. And I also love the voice of Gilbert Gottfried, so if I were to hear that all day long, that would be pretty
You
sweet.
just watch
And
half
also,
ads.
I'm white, so what do I care what he's racist against?
Yeah. You're on the top of the mountain already. Man, the cat. You know, okay, here's my argument. If you're good at extreme sports, poon. You
True.
get poon.
That's true.
And you probably will make a
Base
good amount of
jumping.
money. If you're, it doesn't say how good. You know, if you're just like that guy who like, oh, he's pretty good, that doesn't
But you're
matter.
holding the cat the whole time, aren't you?
Dude, that's what makes the trick so
Well,
impressive.
that's if you
Maybe
want
he's
to
like
hold
doing
one.
misty flips and like throwing the cat and catching it.
Well,
and,
he
like,
does the Misty Flip, teleports with the cat scratching him.
Yeah.
Like 300 feet in the air and keeps spinning. You win the X Games every time.
Yeah, I mean that would at least be a high grade of difficulty. On the threat. I would think at least. Yeah, taxes aren't a big deal. I do taxes all the time, but it'll be a good
Yes, the
reference
shoehorn the
point.
tax happens.
Yeah.
And you know the immortality thing, I actually think that would blow up in my face. But you're gonna have a year of bad luck anyways, even whether or not you get it from this cat or not. I mean,
Yeah.
look at your life, Ben. So I mean, you just got fired. So
That's true.
yeah.
Well, I didn't really
So
get
bad
fired.
luck.
Like, I don't know. I only kind
Well,
of fired.
your company
Hey,
dissolved.
this is not with the moderator, it's with us.
No, see, I'm
Going off.
I'm getting empathetic.
He's the judge. What do you...
Shows empathy.
So do you have a closing
Yes.
argument?
My dog can actually talk to me, so I'm going to be like Dr. Doolittle 3. Because
Right.
I'm going to get the secret to the animal world and just, sell that. Just, have him stare behind a wall, tell me what's over there and stuff. So I'm just going to be the richest man in the world.
So we're both going to be able to monetize our animals.
True.
That's good.
Mine will shit on me for doing it, but because he can talk to me.
As much as I hate Gilbert Gottfried, I'm allergic to cats. So
Yes!
Again,
I'm the winner!
once again.
I knew that too.
So we're just gonna go ahead and declare Alex the winner
4-3.
arbitrarily for Ryan's inability to judge.
That was a good match.
I will say you should try to imagine a cat pumping insulin while doing your taxes with a cigarette hanging out of its mouth is a pretty good.
And scratching
It's a
you.
living.
It's a living, exactly. Okay, well, that's the T40's mini debate.
You got an idea of how stupid our topics are, so next time we do it, you can...
Yeah, send them
just
over.
start sending them in now, because we
If
need
someone
a few.
can confirm that's really from the Giant Bombcast, I want to know.
pretty sure.
I want to know what the context of that is. Why it's.
It was
But
actually
anyway.
really funny, too, because they talked about it for like 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, they got in like a heated debate about it.
Well, you know.
I
Alright,
have no
serious.
strong feelings one way or the other.
Let's talk about John Carpenter.
Okay, John Carpenter. He's a pretty cool guy. He made a bunch of games called Doom and Quake, and made the jump pad.
Carmack.
That's
Who's
the
John
joke.
Carpenter then?
That's his joke.
Is that the joke?
Yeah. John Carpenter made a bunch of movies. He's a writer, film director, producer, etc. Basically, if he made a movie in the 80s, it's pretty good. You should see it. If he made a movie in the 90s, it's awful. And then he didn't make any movies in the 2000s because the movies in the
He
90s
made movies
sucked.
in the 90s.
Yeah. It's called
Yeah,
Ghost
Vampires.
of Mars. Vampires, yeah.
Escape from LA.
Anyway,
Oh.
I was going to
Ghosts of
talk
Mars.
about him, but instead what I decided to do is just watch a couple of his movies and just write notes of what I thought, basically, about the movie going on. So, let me
Movie going on.
I don't know.
Yeah, I watched. Let's see. I watched Escape from New York, They Live, and Big Trouble in Little China. Of the three I took notes on, I think Escape from New York's were the funniest because I just basically wrote down what I saw.
So you didn't watch any of the really bad.
I tried
90s
watching Ghost of
movies.
Mars. It wasn't on Netflix.
Yeah, see, Ghost of Mars is a
Yeah, it's horrible.
great bad movie.
Anyway, so here's my notes from Escape from New York, basically. I saw this movie when I was really young, and thought it was cool because people shot each other or whatever, because I was like 8. But I rewatched it again. First off, there's some big name actors in this movie I didn't notice
Yep.
before. Kurt Russell doesn't count, but Lee Van Cleef, Donald Pleasance, Ernest Borgnine, Isaac Hayes.
Yep.
Berg Knight.
I said his name wrong.
Bergen.
Whatever. So the way this movie is
Foresight.
really fucking stupid. First off, in New York City, or in Manhattan specifically, is a prison in 1997, which is the future.
Wait, what year was this movie made?
84. I think 84.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently the best idea for a prison is just wall off Manhattan, because I guess Bear Stearns is in there or something. But they wall off Manhattan and the bridges are mined and whatever. It's a big ass prison. They just throw people in there.
Just destroy the bridges. Why you have to put mines on them?
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. So apparently the movie starts off with Air Force One being hijacked by one woman. They just she locked herself in the cockpit and no one could get in there. So they hijack Air Force One. She crashes it into basically Manhattan with the president there. World Trade Centers are still there, which is kind of funny.
Do you guys laugh every time you see that in a movie?
I kind of do. It's kind of cheap. It's like,
So anyway,
it's the
Kurt Russell
movie's
plays a
fault.
guy named Snake, who's an ex-army dude who robbed banks for some reason, even though he was like a decorated veteran, and he's going to Manhattan because he's getting sentenced to jail. So Lee Van Cleef is like the guy who's got to send them there, but instead of sending him, he's like, well, if you get the president out for me and get this tape that the president has, then you'll be free and absolved of all crimes, whatever.
Dude, Lee Van Cleef must be old in this movie.
Yeah, he is. So they
Yeah.
shoot this crap into his neck, which is like a bomb. In 24 hours, the bomb will explode if he
Yeah.
doesn't get the president. They use some technobabble, which is really stupid. Who cares? So Snake gets flown into New York, and he starts looking around for the president. First off, there's a Broadway show
yep.
in Manhattan, played by prisoners. Why the fuck?
Well, you never seen that Indian thriller prisoner thing?
Hey, there's plays in Australia.
Anyway, so after looking at the best line of the movie actually is Ernest Borgnine. He walks up to say, "Hey, you're Snake Plissken."
Yeah, the best
It's
part
like-
of the movie.
I'm like, okay, you've been a prisoner on this island for who knows how long, and how do you know this like Marine
Yeah.
dude just out of nowhere? So
How is there anyone named Snake Plissken anyway?
by the way, he had a big tattoo of a
Oh,
cobra.
so bad looking.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Oh,
So
terrible.
he follows Snake around while Snake's looking for the president, and the president's nowhere to be found. And during this time, I noticed that he has a MAC-10, which is a submachine gun with a silencer and a rifle scope on it. Which
Scope on a Mac.
makes like you're gonna hit anything.
It's got good range.
So I wrote, criminals are fucking stupid, banging shit in the street. Apparently, one of the guys just had a pipe and was hitting stuff while walking
Yeah,
down the
I
street.
remember that.
Why? Why
Because
was
he,
he-
Well,
he's like a 10-year-old with
Maybe
a
he's
stick.
just a crazy person, though.
So the bunch of criminals come out, and Snake hides in some cafe or something, and there's this blonde chick there, and the blonde chick gets taken away by the criminals, and he cares about her for some reason, despite not caring about anyone else.
He's been in prison forever, hasn't seen a woman. That's why.
Yeah, who fucking cares?
Hey, wants to break
Far
off a
Cry.
piece.
I wrote John Carpenter's music
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
Self-
which
Oh,
he,
yeah.
makes, he makes himself.
Yeah, he made
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the music
yeah.
himself.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
most of
that.
his
Yeah,
movies.
all of his movies
So
almost.
Ernest Borgnine shows up again. His name is Cabby, and he has a cab, so they drive around the cab arrest. And everyone knows Snake Plissken. Like, he walks
Yeah.
out, and everyone's like, hey, you're Snake Plissken. Hey, you're Snake Plissken. It doesn't fucking make sense. And everyone's like, I thought you were dead. Because, like, apparently he died, but really didn't die or something. Who the fuck cares? So he finds out that this guy named the Duke is running New York City. He's like the head criminal, and he wants to go meet this guy because apparently he knows where the president is. And then the Snake apparently meets a criminal buddy in his past named Brain. This guy's a huge jackass, and he shouldn't be in the movie because there's no way that they would ever meet each other on Manhattan.
Yeah.
But the Brain dude takes him to the Duke, and the Duke captures him. And the Duke makes him say, "I'm the Duke of New York, #1," over and over again.
Yeah.
For why? And this David Bowie henchman has the most annoying laugh, and he later gets shot, so I was happy about that. Brain was going to steal the glider that Snake came in and leave, but then he had a change of heart, which is totally out of character, and decides to save the president for some reason. Snake then fights Zangief in a gladiatorial combat thing, and it's the slowest fight ever because it was like totally, motioned ahead of time. It's like, oh, I'm coming down with the axe, and Snake rolls out of the way. It's like, oh, shut up.
Slower than the fight from They Live.
Yes,
Really?
somehow slower. It's actually a good parallel there because they're both awful fucking choreography.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they all project their moves like 10 seconds before.
So I forgot to mention that earlier in the movie, Snake got shot in the leg by bow and arrow, and he fights with a leg wound and limps for like half the movie.
Yep.
Right.
Really dumb. And then so he escapes, and then later on the Duke finds him, and the Duke is in the steampunk because he has like the steam cannons or something.
Yeah.
And Snake, despite having the opportunity to shoot the Duke from 20 feet away, decides to shoot these two things and put steam in his face instead of just killing him outright because he's fucking stupid. Anyway, they all pile into a
I
cab.
forgot that he did that.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
They find the president. They all pile into this cab, and they're driving the cab down the street because they have to go over this bridge. And apparently, the Brain dude figured out where the mines were, so they could drive around them or something.
Again.
And it does.
What?
Yeah, it's stupid. And it changes from day to night like 3 times during that chase scene. And Jesus Christ, John Carpenter's music is terrible. But the U.S. Army mined the bridge, but the bridge looks completely empty. There's like no mines anywhere. So they're driving. Of course, the taxi hits one of the mines, and everyone should be dead because the taxi splits into 2. But only the cabbie dies, and he was in the front seat, and he looks fine. So they're running down the street, and the Brain guy who has the map of where all the mines are steps on a mine and dies. I don't know why.
I forgot about
So
that.
his love interest, the woman, the Brain's love interest, gets all mad and decides to stay on the bridge, tries shooting the Duke who's driving that car, and just gets hit by a car, and the Duke just laughs at her. So they finally make their way to the wall around Manhattan, and the president gets lifted over the wall. But right as Snake is about to get lifted over the wall, the Duke shoots the 2 guys lifting him up, the 2 soldiers up there. Mm-hmm. And the Duke was about to shoot Snake. But instead, the president gets a machine gun and mows him down and yells, you're the Duke, A #1. Which is totally out of character for Donald Pleasance, just yelling this at it. Anyway, they get over the wall, blah, blah, blah. Snake gets saved with like 2 seconds left on this bomb in his neck for, I don't know, because they explained it as being some mineral bomb or something stupid. It makes no sense. Anyway, when the president is about to give a speech, because they needed to be saved, so he gave a speech about nuclear war or something, Snake switched out the tapes on him earlier and played some jazz music, and Donald Pleasance has this really funny look on his face. And that was the end of the movie. And John Carpenter's music is terrible.
Yeah.
So what do you give this movie?
I give it 2 thumbs down.
Yeah,
So,
it's a terrible movie.
I feel that, well, I understand why you just talked about the movie and not John Carpenter. But
All of his movies are like this, too.
they are. But I do want to know a little bit more about your opinion on John Carpenter. So,
Well, I've only seen a couple John Carpenter movies. It's
well,
like,
here's that's why I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
I'm asking you a question. One, who is your favorite that you've seen? Who is your favorite John Carpenter character?
Lopan.
Yeah, Lopan, probably.
Lopan.
He shoots lightning from his hands. I mean,
Right. Okay. And then the other question I have, and we also have one in the voicemail. The other question I have is, what recurring themes do you notice among John Carpenter movies or motifs?
John Carpenter's motif is plot point. You don't know about plot point. Let me exposition. That is John Carpenter's fucking motif.
I gotta say, I ran into John Carpenter films kind of on accident. and I probably didn't see my first one until I was like 15 or 16, and it was Big Trouble in Little China. I was like,
That is
this
that movie.
Yeah, I was like, this is maybe the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
The
And then
thing-
when I found out people liked it, I'm like,
I actually
are you
do like that
fucking
movie.
joking?
I like that movie because it is campy as fuck, and they don't hide from the fact that it is a completely 80 campy movie.
I don't think he's. I think he is intentionally making these movies. Like, I don't think he knows how. I think he knows he's making a campy movie, but I don't think he realizes how badly they're made.
Let me tell you something. About John Carpenter here. Now, I've seen most of his movies.
I have
think.
too,
I've seen
but
a lot
now-
of them, and I can say that he does think he's making good movies at some points. And like movies like Big Trouble, that is not a serious movie. He's right; it's not serious in any way. But Ghosts of Mars, that movie is serious.
Yes.
There is no joke in that entire movie. Vampires is serious.
Oh.
But dude, Ghosts of Mars, I mean, it's a shame you couldn't have watched that, because then you would really understand just how bad that movie
He's
is.
just such a
Whoa.
lazy. He's such a lazy filmmaker. Like everything
he
is
is.
like his
What are
characters.
you talking
are so,
about? He works so hard on music.
So let's hear
Sure.
what this guy said in the voicemail here. Sorry, 1 second.
You're tipping 40s, like I said in the name thing. This is Swag Ballhard. I'm fairly drunk right now. Like, on a scale of 1 to Benson, I'd say I'm Kubo. Anyway, with the topic this week being John Carpenter, I thought I'd ask about something that was an Escape from New York. And that's just if, I think Ryan's doing it this week, if you agree that we should implement the presidential pod, which is what the president escaped from in Air Force One in the movie. If you agree that we should implement that in today's society, just in case the president is attacked. Yeah, I'd just like to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, so he's talking
And
about
I
in
really
the movie.
enjoy all your stuff,
One
and
sec.
keep going at it. Keep getting drunk, like I am.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. for the
Look forward to your
voicemail.
podcast. Bye-bye.
So what he's talking about is in the movie, when the president's playing It's Hijacked, there's this red pod that looks like a big egg, basically. And the president gets inside of it, and he says, like, Godspeed, all you men, because his dudes are on the plane, they're all going to
Is it
die.
a one-man escape pod?
Yeah, it's a one-man escape just for the president. And basically, he falls down to New York, and he's safe, basically, because, you know. So, I don't know too much about Air Force One. I've only seen the Harrison Ford movie.
Yeah.
But don't they have escape pods? I would think that they would have an escape pod.
They
somewhere.
must have something.
They have skydiving gear and shit like that. I think ejection seats.
Well, like,
and stuff
it'd be
that.
kind of funny to see Obama skydive. I mean, there's probably some kind of, like, mini airplane or something. I don't know. They probably keep it classified, but...
There's definitely something.
There's something
Wait.
to escape.
I
I
hate
don't know
that.
if it's an escape pod.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you know, I don't think that there should be an escape pod because this is a perfect example of pork barrel spending.
Let me tell you, if they were going to make an escape pod, why would they make it bright red? Wouldn't that make it way more
look at
obvious?
me!
Yeah, I know.
Well, rescue equipment's
Yeah,
normally
that's
bright
true.
orange because it's easier to find. Like, if they escape from
Yeah,
the
they're
ocean,
trying
it's
to
easy.
do reconnaissance.
I don't know why it was red in the movie. It seems kind of weird.
I think it's just arbitrary John Carpenter thing.
Yeah.
Let's just make it red. I don't know.
But yeah. John
What do you
Carpenter.
think? Do you think they should have the pod or not?
I could see a pod being used. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be just one person because then Joe Biden's sitting on the airplane like, fuck, and just getting
No, I
drunk.
think he wants one Secret Service guy with him, too. They're going to give him a gun when he's down there? or
Hey man,
something?
I'm your bud. I'm your bud. That guy kind of sucks. I'm your bud.
Well,
You
what
take
with
me
all-
on.
Listen,
What
I can
with
play
all the-
basketball better.
Yeah.
What with all the good that the vice president usually does? Do we really need a second
No.
person in the pod?
He's the
Is
one
it-
flying the plane.
Is he
in the
really
first
helping
place.
things? All right, fantastic.
So I think you should mention, at least we should talk about the best fight scene ever made in a movie.
Yeah, that is from They Live, and it's if you haven't seen it, it's up there with the choreography of what's that one Tony Jaa movie?
I think it's up there with the choreography of Hobgoblin.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like, I think it's literally 7 minutes long.
It is
Rowdy
7
Roddy
minutes
Piper
long.
and I can't remember that guy's name.
other guy.
Rowdy
the
Roddy
black
Piper
guy
and
who was-
other black guy who
Scared, stereotypical,
is the
insulting
biggest
black man.
stereotype of black.
And all
Beautiful
they do is say,
black man.
put on the glasses. I'm not putting on the glasses.
He's just, you know what he is? He's just the same character as Samuel L. Jackson in
Any movie he's been in.
No, not at all. He's the same character as Samuel L. Jackson in in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah, yeah.
Same exact
absolutely.
character.
Absolutely.
Just
You're totally
afraid of
right.
everything. I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to be part of this. Like, you already are. Shut up.
It's telling you to put on some glasses,
So-
though.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
what
know.
the hell? Get away from me.
I actually want to see. I really wish they would redo Die Hard with a Vengeance, so they could put Roddy Piper with Sam Jackson, the scene with the jugs,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
because that is one of the funniest moments in the movies.
They're spilling water everywhere. Oh, it's perfect.
So we're actually doing really good on time this week, unusually good. But I did forget to talk about the Netflix movie. Thank you, Alex, for
Oh, yeah, we got that
remembering.
next week.
So we're going to be doing another Netflix movie of the month. This one is
Looks
looking
great.
pretty fantastic so far.
We preview about 2 minutes worth of every movie.
No,
I
it wasn't 2
forgot.
minutes. It was 30 seconds, and 2 hilarious things happened within 30 seconds. So I just can't even imagine that it won't be funny. So this movie is a sci-fi adventure film from 1986, and it is called Solar Babies. And that's all one word. It is obviously available for instant viewing on Netflix, and it stars Jason Patrick, if you remember him. And here is the synopsis. This post-apocalyptic adventure follows a group of imprisoned skateball-playing youths. Whatever skateball sounds kind of rollerball-ish. No. Who find an orb with prophetic powers.
A piece of Eden.
When the orb is stolen, the kids make a daring escape to find it and win their freedom from a fascist regime. So,
We thought we were doing too many kids movies, so we had to do a sci-fi one.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
It does look kind of kiddie, though.
I gotta say, what are with all these fucking movies in the 80s where it's like, we gotta take down this regime, and the only way we can do it is by beating them in a sport. It's like, you beat me.
Hey, shut up.
I'm going
Robot
to give up
Jocks
my
is great.
regime now. It's like, one thing, I'm just gonna shoot you in the head. Yeah, great,
well,
you beat me.
Well, in this though, it doesn't
Robot
seem like
jocks,
that.
man.
It's not really about the sport. It's about the them getting the,
we'll
the
find out.
prophecy orb.
Well, I
find out.
hope the orb is the competition related.
It's the
It's
ball.
the game ball.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I bet you they play a game, like maybe outside the...
It's still.
Yeah,
It's
they're
how-
like trying to get it from the bad guys, but they're playing skateball to throw to each other and stuff. For sure.
I can totally see that.
strangely enough, it tells the future, and it's still worth less than a Super Bowl game ball. So,
cool.
Fun fact.
so,
Learned that from Pawn
who's
Stars.
who's doing Teach Me?
Pawn Stars.
Who's doing Teach Me next week? It's not Alex. I think it's you, Mike.
No, it would be
Benson?
It would be Benson.
Okay, I'm still looking for an article, but I'll say it when I find one.
All right, let me know. Right, let's move it on to the top 3 movies.
Top 3. Everyone doing great in movie land.
Yeah, top.
The Help is again number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
14 million.
Which I
Did any of us get that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
You did, idiot.
I don't remember, honestly, what I do from week to week.
Columbiana, number 2 with 10 million, and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, number 3 with 8.69 million, because Apes was 8.65 or something.
Oh, fucking...
Just barely.
You know, I'm amazed that Colombiana movie did so well because the ads were so terrible for it. It
Dude,
looked
it
like
only
they
made
were
10
just-
million. I mean,
It's still better than I thought it would do. I thought it would pull 7 or something like that, but
so I went 0-3. Ryan and Benson went 1-2. Mike went 2-1, which puts Benson number 1, 27-21. Me and Ryan tied 25-23. Mike 21-27.
finally gained ground after like 3 months
Yeah.
of nothing.
Okay, now we're on to. We keep saying this is the worst week. This is the worst
Dude,
week.
it's bad.
This is the worst week.
It just gets worse and worse. It gets worse and worse every single week.
Dude,
It's
I'm looking at your
unbelievable.
piece of paper and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
So we got a
That's
movie
it?
called The Debt. Has Sam Worthington in it.
No one cares about him.
And another movie that's Gainsbourg. I just wrote down 2 movies. And there's nothing.
What is The Debt? I've never heard of
It was I watched the trailer because I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. It was
I
like
saw an ad for it the other day.
these 3
first
people
time.
in East Berlin doing. There's some evil like scientist guy like doing bad experiments, and they
Is this
took
like
him
during
away.
like the Cold War?
Yeah. So
Comes
Yeah.
out on Wednesday, too.
What
Wait.
was the other one?
I don't think it does.
I thought it did.
Then all these movies come out on Wednesday.
No, The Debt, I think, comes out on Wednesday.
all these movies- all the movies-
Maybe not then.
I went on
Oh, I
Rotten
saw
Tomatoes
it.
and only showed 4 movies for the upcoming week.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
So what was the ones from last week then?
Okay, so we got The Help,
Yeah.
Columbiana, and Don't Be Afraid of the Dark in that order.
Oh, Spy Kids, Fright Night, whatever, Apes. I don't have a piece of paper, actually. I'll just have to...
This is a stupid
Just
week.
write it down. in your thing.
You know, I'm gonna say. Actually,
This is
should I wait?
garbage.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I got mine, but this is.
Ugh, I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of go weird on this.
How many weeks in a row has Help been number 1? 3?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And the first week, it's like, wow, it's number 1. That's unbelievable. Now it's like,
Yeah, I know. All right.
I guess
So
I'll
I'm
do
gonna
that.
say.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say The Debt, then The Help, and then you know what? I'm gonna pull out a surprise one. I'm gonna say Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is gonna stay on another week. I think I think that it's gonna do it.
wait, what'd you say?
I said The Debt, then The Help, and then Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
No, I can't change it now. I wanted to do.
Well, you can. You haven't said it yet.
No, you can't change it because he's
He's
going on
already-
what you're saying.
No, I'm not going on what he's saying. But
So I got Help,
No one's going on what I'm
Columbiana Debt, and that's just pulling out of my ass because
That's
I
what
have
I
no
said.
fucking clue.
Exact same thing he said.
Yeah.
I did The Help, Apes, and The Debt because I don't think The Debt's going to do well because they've hardly marketed it at all.
I don't think it'll do well either, but I think
No one cares about Sam Worthington.
I think because, well, you know, people don't, but I think that Sam Worthington will still pull it out because every other movie's been on there forever.
Yeah.
And-
Actually, in the
It-
trailer,
it's such a bad. I mean, I
Except
can
for
see.
Columbiana, and I don't see that doing.
I can see the number one movie making $11 million that week.
That's
well,
possible.
Hurricane's fucking that shit up.
well, wait,
Well, I know, but there's weaker.
No one wants to
competition
see
this
these movies anyway, though.
I saw that. I watched the trailer for The Debt, and there's something really weird, and don't really see in movies. It was like, first of all, it started out the trailer with everyone in present day time, and it was like the 3 people that went back and captured that scientist. Then it goes back and shows them back in the Cold War. Then it goes back again. So I think half the movies when they're old and half when they're young. So it's kind of weird.
So it's like The Notebook, but about the whole.
So Benson, I found you your next week's topic:
Okay.
the history of sushi.
Oh, God.
This is a page on Wikipedia, apparently. The history of
The
sushi.
history of sushi.
That's-
We're
Okay.
talking about
Decent topic.
sushi.
So
what sushi
really,
you
it's not
like.
that hard that you just ate raw fish at one point. Like, this is pretty good.
Well, I can't afford raw fish. I'm unemployed now.
But you don't
Okay.
have to cook it.
History of sushi. True. I'll just buy a tuna steak and eat it raw.
So what do you guys think about these movies doing so fucking bad right now?
Well,
There's no blockbusters out right now. There's nothing
Well,
good.
you know, I think one, there's just no good movies, like he
true.
said. And
well,
two,
it doesn't have to be good movies that do good. It's just
well, that's true. But
even marketable movies aren't.
the
coming
other
out.
problem too is not even marketable, marketed at
Yeah,
all.
they're
None
not
of
really-
these movies are even advertised.
It was weird. Like the movies that came out this week, I didn't see a Columbiana ad once
No.
until this week.
Yeah.
This week, like on Tuesday, they were like, "Oh yeah, you remember that girl from Avatar?"
I don't have TV, but I'm online a lot and I watch a lot of videos. I see trailers for stuff all the time before
Like Crest
videos
White
and stuff
Strips.
like that. And yeah, I do see those too. But I didn't hear about Columbiana. I saw one ad for Don't Be Afraid of the Dark one time. I saw a bunch of shit for The Help after it came out because a bunch of people went, "Oh, it's
There were
so
a lot
good."
of ads about that actually prior, but they were like weirdly positioned on
Yeah.
ABC because they were free ads.
Well, it's because they're on ABC because that movie is trying to make white people feel bad for black people,
Right, but
by,
it's all-
by exploiting black people in the movie
They had a partnership, so
movies.
it's a studio
Yeah, but
free advertising.
these movies. I mean, I'm not saying the movies are bad because I don't know, but they're badly advertised, and honestly, I think they just don't give a
this
shit
is a
right
bad.
now.
This is one of the worst years.
I think they've
Yeah.
given up. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I started reading Deadline Hollywood like maybe a couple months ago, and this weekend was really hilarious because they're like, "Oh, Hurricane Irene is going to ruin our box office," and it's like, yes and no. You know, like
I
yeah,
think
it's
you're
a
ruining the box
20%
office
hit,
and blaming the hurricane.
But it's even if you
No.
added 20% to these numbers, they would still be shitty.
Well, speaking of Hurricane Irene.
Yeah.
Let's move it right over to the top 5 most wanted, of which that is number 5, Hurricane Irene coverage.
So on Thursday, well, it's throughout the whole week, but on Thursday that's where it really picked up. Hurricane Irene coverage. They were saying like it was going to be a 100-year event. It was going to destroy New York City. It was going to flood the entire city and ruin it, and all this shit. And the thing is, all that made sense somewhat on Tuesday, Monday when it started sprouting up because it was a Category 3.
Yeah, and also it was a very, very high risk tropical storm when it was first forming.
Right.
It had those vents or whatever they're called that allow the storm to continue to grow. No, that's what they seriously, that's how it works. There's ventilation in the system that allows it to continue to build. And if it plugs up, if one of them is plugged up, then it can not allow it to grow as fast. So,
but they kept talking about New York City, even at the beginning of the week. New York City and New Jersey, that's all they cared about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to flood and it's going to be catastrophic. But I found out on like Wednesday or Tuesday, it's like, well, it's going to actually land in North Carolina. And I went, I don't know much about hurricanes, but I do know that once they hit land, they weaken.
Yes.
So it's going to start in North Carolina, and it's going to go all the way up to New York. It's going to be significantly weakened. And then also on Wednesday, it dropped to a Category 2. And then then it dropped to a Category 1 when it hit land instantly.
New York gets more media, that's all it is.
But yeah, look at front page. Weekend Irene still threat.
I think it goes beyond hurricanes. I wanted someone to send us in some voicemails or emails. Are you sick of hearing the media tell you that you're going to die? That's what I'm tired of. Every day, they're telling me I'm going to get killed by something. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm not going to get killed.
Yeah, you are.
I actually haven't heard a single thing about the hurricane because I don't read the news or watch it at all.
My sister lives in Florida, and I warned her about it back on like Wednesday because they were saying it was going to be huge,
I'm sure she heard about 1,000 times more than you.
No, actually, she didn't. She didn't even know. She probably doesn't care about the weather there because she's so used to it.
Coming.
I also think there's just an East Coast bias, like New England, just self-involved bias with New York and.
You guys ever been in hurricanes? They're not that big of a deal, man.
Yeah. I've only been in tropical storms.
Well, if it was like a Category 4 or 5, it would be a big deal, but it's not. They're just overplaying it like they do with everything. So anyway, number 4, 1/3 of Alabama uses food stamps.
Yeah, so...
How?
Good job, Alabama.
1/3.
Okay, how much money does that state have compared to Arizona? I mean, seriously.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, they're the poorest. If they're not they have the worst per capita income. I think it's like $26,000. So the average person makes $26,000. Our household income.
Remember we talked about the fattest states? Weren't they like number 1?
They were right there.
And they all
Mississippi
have
was
food
number
stamps. Are they getting like triple the food stamps?
Well, no, because they just buy fatty foods, which are cheap.
Because they're the cheapest foods.
Food stamps,
that makes sense.
It's very
they
common,
can't buy vegetables.
Actually, that's why poor people are often fat. Actually, like there's a lot of obesity problems with the poor.
They can't eat right.
And this was in a Reuters article, and one of the best articles I read this week. And Reuters can be inconsistent, but it's really about how much we use food stamps and how it's really a welfare system not only for people but for the corporations that sell the goods.
Yeah.
It's like a false economy. But there was just this tidbit that 1/3 of Alabama was on food stamps, and they kind of say like, oh, but it's because they also had some tornadoes. It went up slightly, but that still means that was close to 1/3. And all the states around them, like Mississippi and Tennessee, it's at 1/5. Mm-hmm. So 1/5 of people in the states are on food stamps.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I think you can't make over $12 an hour in most states and not get food stamps. So these households are living on less than $12 an hour with kids and stuff.
Economy.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
I'll never live in the South. So,
So it's
You
just
do live in the South.
No, I live in the Southwest. It's not even similar.
it's annoying to me because they always talk about how these people have handouts, but it's not even enough to be substantial in any way.
A handout.
It just basically keeps them alive.
Well,
That was positive.
let's move on to something funnier and also still rage-inducing.
More important.
Yeah, right. More important. GameStop is taking coupons out of the Deus Ex packages.
Far more important.
Okay, so
Go ahead, Ryan.
Deus Ex, which is a great game and everyone should play,
Oh,
except
shut
for
up.
the ending. Anyway,
shut up.
they were putting boxes out. They're obviously selling in GameStop, and because Square Enix published the game, they were putting in coupons for their OnLive service, which is like some online downloadable thing, but kind of like Steam, whatever. But GameStop obviously didn't like them getting free games, so they were opening up boxes and taking out the coupons.
No. That wasn't the whole thing. The reason why GameStop was so mad is because GameStop bought a company that's going to compete with online.
Yes, I was getting to
yeah,
that.
oh, okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, so GameStop is obviously making their own online game things, and it was competing. The funny thing, though, about this, after everybody was like, "Yo, you should take out." This was a leaked memo from inside the company. After this got public, and it was found out they were taking these coupons out, GameStop's reply, obviously, was to just pull everything off the shelf.
Yeah, which is even more asinine.
Unbelievable.
Stupid.
Let me ask you something about GameStop, just real quick.
You got any trade-ins?
Does any? Yeah, right.
You wanna
Does
buy a
anyone
GameStop
like?
card?
Does anyone like GameStop? Because I go to GameStop sometimes, and the only reason I go is because there's
They
no
have a
other
deal
There's
or
no.
something.
Well, no. I'm saying there's no other video game stores.
Well, that's true too.
They're the only one. There's that in Game
Steam.
Crazy.
Well,
That's
But,
it.
well,
Yeah.
Steam, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you go online to buy a game, would you ever go to GameStop.com ever?
Yeah.
No.
The
I
only
would go to
reason,
Steam. I would go to Amazon. Those are the
Yeah.
two places I would buy games
the
online.
only reason I go to GameStop is because they do have the backlog of the older last gen games. And
Yeah,
the
that's
only
what I'm
place to get
saying.
them.
They're
Yeah.
the only game store.
Yeah.
It's
Unless
not
you find
because
some like private, mom
So
and pop
when
place.
GameStop opens their online thing, I'm never going to use that. I fucking hate them. I just
Yeah.
go there because it's the only place local I can
and
get games.
OnLive isn't doing that well, and it works.
No.
I've used it. It
Yeah, I have
works.
too. It's good. It's
I mean,
just,
I wouldn't want to play a fighting game on it.
Yeah. yeah.
Like, what?
Okay.
It's super laggy.
So NFL guy, you go ahead.
Okay, so the 49ers president and actually it was both presidents of the 49ers and the Raiders. One of them, Jed York, for the 49ers. He said the following. I'm just going to quote him. I don't know if we're going to be... I'm sorry. But if you're going to have a lot of... I'm sorry, I'm reading the fucking wrong quotes. I'm sorry.
You're terrible.
I'm on the wrong... I thought I was on the right paragraph. I had it highlighted. Anyways, he said, I think when you have a preseason game, when you don't have your regular season ticket holders coming to the game, I think that plays a big factor into it. So he's talking about how there was a violent event at one of their games.
Violent events.
Someone got stabbed.
Yeah, which par for the course.
Raiders fans.
And so his response
Yeah.
was, this is another reason why the NFL wants to eliminate some preseason games in favor of 18-game seasons, because you'll have more of those regular season ticket holders, and they're not as poor and crime
That was
laden.
never a reason.
No.
Ever.
No.
And also, the reason why is because they spend less on security for preseason games because they generate less revenue. That's it. That's the
Okay,
reason why.
so first of all, this isn't anyway. It's just a Niners-Raiders game. They're like, what, 50 miles apart?
Yep.
So they fucking hate each other. Raiders fans are the craziest fucking fans.
Oh, we went to a Cardinals
We
game.
went to a Cardinals-Raiders game, and we had to wait. We didn't get in the... We were in line for 45 minutes just to get in the stadium because the security was insane. Because
Really?
the fans are fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. They were like gloating about what cousins of theirs were in prison and stuff. And like,
Really?
I'm not joking. Yeah, like they were like
They were just
gloating
smoking
about-
weed in line, too.
Yeah,
like,
it
whatever.
was-
I have heard. I mean, as is very obvious by our other podcasts, I'm not a big sports fan. I watch them occasionally, but
Sports.
I have, even me who knows nothing about sports and especially like the culture surrounding sports. Even I have heard how crazy like Raiders and like Dodgers fans
Well,
are.
it goes back to when the Raiders were in LA when it was way worse. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
they
bad
moved
things.
them because of that. That's the
Really, that's
reason.
really why they moved.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, Al Davis. Whatever.
Oh, Al Davis was wishy-washy.
So, number one, Moody's and other credit rating.
But only proof of Moody's. Come on.
Right.
We don't have a whistleblower for the other
Only
two.
for, okay.
So,
Go ahead.
Former vice president, his name's William Harrington. He was a vice president analyst for Moody's. He blew the whistle on Moody's and said that they were basically giving out AAA loans to shit.
Well,
Securities.
we have to give some background that people don't know about the financial industry. What happens is when you have a financial company, say, I don't know, Wells Fargo or something, that has a bunch of mortgages they want to package as a security, they have to get it rated based on how risky it is. So they go to one of these three credit rating agencies, Moody's, S&P's, or Fitch, and they ask, hey, look at our mortgage or look at our collection of mortgage packages. How risky is this? And they'll do some research into it to see how the people can pay their loans, or whatever, and they'll give it a credit rating. So what happens is these financial companies like Wells Fargo, they need to pay obviously Moody's to do this.
Yeah, there's like a transaction fee.
Okay.
Valuation
Yeah,
fee.
and then they'll give them the rating. But the thing is, they were systematically giving them really high ratings on crappy mortgages and stuff, just so they can get more business.
Yeah, because they would just go to the other rival ratings agency.
Like they would be like, oh, well, this package of securities is kind of shitty, but we got AAA from these guys, so let's go back to them again.
Which is exactly what we were discussing. Or this is what we were discussing when we were discussing doing the podcast and putting that in the top 5. The point is that they were giving ratings in order to allow themselves to give more ratings.
It's bad structural regulation.
Yeah, but the point is, though, once you do that, that's no longer a rating. That's not a rating anymore.
Well, the article that he was talking about was the fact that there was a whistleblower at Moody's that said basically the analyst would say, oh, these are crap mortgages, but the guys on top would be like, oh, just give it AAA so we get more business.
Yeah,
Money.
And the reason why he blew the whistle on him because he was super fucking pissed because he didn't want to approve an AIG deal, and they basically fired him because he wouldn't do it. And then a couple years later, AIG was doing really awesome. So, yeah. And by the way, Standard & Poor's and Fitch absolutely do this too. I think they just don't have a whistleblower. So
great. Well, I think we're good then.
on a positive note, once again.
Yeah, I know. always ending it on the high notes here. So that was the 17th Tipping 40's podcast. If you want to contact us, send us an email at podcast@tipping40s.com or leave us a voicemail at 218-666-8407. Thank you.
And watch Solar Babies.
Watch Solar Babies.